All right, let's look at number 5. So number 5 is going to be a little more of a two-step process. So this is number 5. I've got P equals 5H plus 5Z. They want me to solve it for H. So here's my H. Now, the H is not isolated in this one term. It's connected to the 5. But the first thing I'm going to do is deal with outside terms. So I first want to move this 5Z. Some of you, if you're already thinking in mode of slip and slide, you would say, well, this is a plus 5Z, so I'm going to minus it over to here, and that's true. So if I minus the 5Z minus the 5Z, I get P minus 5Z equals 5H. But now I still have a step to do because H is not isolated. It's connected to the 5 with multiplication. So I divide to undo multiplication, which means this entire side gets divided. And then there's my answer. H equals P minus 5Z all over 5. Keep in mind, in this case, the P is a lowercase number or letter, so I would type it in as a lowercase, and so is the Z. Okay, let's take a look at a more difficult one. Let's look at number 6. So 6 says capital D equals 1/5 pi r squared s. Okay, and I hate when they use s's and 5's in the same thing, but I'll try to keep them looking like they're supposed to. So we're trying to solve this for s. So s is what I need to isolate, which is right here. Okay, the 5 is in the denominator, which means it's being divided. The opposite of divide is multiply, so that's going to slide over here as a multiplication. So this entire fraction is finished because dividing by 1 doesn't change anything over on my left side. Now, what I'm left with is a pi and an r squared, which are both being connected to the s with multiplication. The opposite of multiplication is division, so they will be divided on both sides. They would disappear over on this side and end up down on that side. So hopefully that wasn't too confusing. If it is, then feel free to ask. Okay, I'm going to do one more and then leave the rest to you, and you're more than welcome to let me know if you're struggling with something. Okay, so I've got number 7, capital B equals P plus PSG, and we're solving for S. So here's my S. It's inside this term. I must first deal with outside terms. This P is being added, so I'm going to subtract. So I'm going to get big P minus little p equals PSG. And most of you probably can see the last step here. Since S is connected to P and G with multiplication, I would divide by both P and G and do the same thing on this side. And so this would be my answer, B minus P over PG. Okay, so that's it for this section. I left a couple problems for you to try on your own. Of course, you're welcome to look at the Help Me Solve This or whatever. And I'll see you on 3.11.